Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's look has been created with this Illamasqua Unveiled Artistry Palette. I already filmed multiple looks with Illamasqua Elemental Artistry Palette, one of the palettes that I've used the most when it comes to my clients. But today we're gonna be talking about, I would say, sister palette. Contains eyeshadows in matte, satin and metallic finish, and so far everything that I tried I really liked. I like the shades and multiple looks that you can create with it, like really lightweight day type of looks, and then intensify them even though we don't have black color in here, but you can still achieve an intense look with this. I also use this palette, these colors, for my cheek blush as well, but today we're gonna just be focusing on the eyes as usual. Anyways, before we continue, these eyelashes are again from a brand called Beauty. These ones are in Polar Violet, my favorite contact lenses. And let's jump into this tutorial. So I already prepped my skin, but before I move on and put my eye base, I am using Bionic Defense Color Primer. Just that my primer applies much more smoother, and this texture from this primer is so smooth. Moving on to MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I'm covering my entire lid, and for this I'm using blending brush, but obviously this area underneath my eyebrow will need it to be covered and shaped with a flat brush. I'm just making sure that I have no creasing, that everything is blended equally. It is really important to not leave any areas where my skin may be peeking through. The product needs to be blended equally. Now moving on to our first shade. So as you can see, lower row is all matte colors, where top row is having either satin or metallic finish. As I can see by the colors, you can build them up. Here it says you can create nude looks, but there are a couple of colors that are much more on a colorful side than nude side. I am starting off with this color called Muse. Took excess from my brush, and before I move on, of course, just remove any creasing, and slowly following my crease with the blending brush, slowly started to create a shape. I started from the middle. I usually start from the middle because you still can manage in a way that you can blend it towards your nose or outside. If you start with the product here or here, then you have a problem because you have too much of the product where you're gonna blend it. So it's much easier to start from the middle and then move your work your way towards nose or go outside towards your hairline. That's really good. It's really nicely blended. I don't want to use this color too much. I just took a little bit of more of a product. Okay, now once this step is done, I'm first going to lighten up this area underneath my eyebrows, and I'm going to be using this color right here, which is called Spirit. They do have a lot of fallout, which honestly I don't care whenever I'm working with eyes first and the quality is good. So if necessary, you can take a little bit more of a color just to bring the color up if you want to. Now we are going to deepen up this look by using a color Honor. I really do like the names of these eyeshadows. Same blending brush and work my way towards the edge. See how intense this one is? Remove excess from my brush. The good thing is that the color, like I said, it has a lot of fallout, but still it grabs really good onto my blending brush. And the pigment, as you can see, it's really good. It is good because at the same time it grabs really good onto my base, but it's not, you know, sometimes when you put your eyeshadows on a base, sometimes it tends to do a flaky finish, so it's not working out. But this I have no issue with. To deepen up this inner corner, I am just doing small circular motions towards my nose. So now the next step is to take with my finger this shade right here called Bold. I'm really pressing this shade. This is going to be a centerpiece main color for today's look. I'm also using Maybelline's Lasting Fix Spray just to spray a little bit my finger, and then from the center just going to build this color. Why I'm using my finger? If you're not using your finger, use any flat brush. The reason why I'm using my finger is because this type of metallic eyeshadows, they actually work best with the finger. And now it's time to spread this color, and for that I'm gonna go with this brush. This is flat but really thick brush. Now I'm using same color and just going on top of this. I didn't put any spray at the moment. Now for my next color, I'm gonna take blending brush and I'm using color distinct. Again, these types of products are working the best when using flat brush, but in this case I'm using blending brush because I don't need that much product. I'm just going to give a little bit color to my edges. See how we start to change this whole look? I'm applying same color outside of my eye. I will still need to lighten up underneath my eyebrows. Now next step that I'm going to do, I'm going to apply a little bit of fixing spray. And I'm going to mix this color, bold and zealous. Can't pronounce that. It's something like 2/3 of a bold and the rest will be the second color. And by applying it on my finger. I know it can be tricky whenever you are mixing two colors because ideally I would like to have this color that I have right now in a pan as well, but it's okay, you still can get that color. Just a tiny of fixing spray. Again, depending on your fixing spray, you do not want to put too much. And for example, if you do have a little bit too much of a product, you can always go with a clean brush and just wipe that. I'm gonna mix these two together. I want this color, but since I have only these two colors in that sense, I'm equally putting product and taking excess from a brush and just on the outer edge, give a little bit more dimension. Time for eyeshadow primer, but before that I am using again my skin primer because this area tends to dry, especially when you're using wipes or anything actually to clean your skin. Again, it becomes dry, so make sure to keep this area, especially area underneath the eyes, which tends to crease the most, to maintain it, to be hydrated as much as possible. Make sure to come the closer that you can towards this area where the eyeshadow is ending, but not to mess up your eyeshadow with the base. First eyeshadow I'm gonna be using is actually taking bullet brush, using this eyeshadow. This kind of a brush, if you're doing cat eye or just want to intense underneath your eyeshadow that is pretty much wide, you want to use brush like this. This is actually perfect. It gives you in one, let me show you. So in one move you get this. See, it's the perfect amount of the product, and then it goes really wide as you want it, as you need it. You don't want to overdo your eyeshadow, but at the same time you don't want it to like too thin. And look at this, it connects perfectly with what we already have done. This step right here that I showed you, it is so crucial when you are doing this type of makeups, and this is something you will see on a regular basis when it comes to Russian makeup style, makeup techniques. I really like that style, and actually that's not one of, that's my favorite makeup style. And you look in the mirror, you have perfect line. Okay, now when I'm done with this, I'm gonna be using shade Bold, smaller bullet brush, again fixing spray, and repeat the process. This brush is a little bit thinner than the previous one, and just connect everything. For my inner corner, I'm using just a little bit of a spirit color.